Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We are on Love 99.5 FM. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on Radio Max in Takrady, KTU Radio in Koforidua. We are on Ganga FM in Jirapa, A1 Radio in Bogatanga, live on X Spaces, live on Facebook, and myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator, and where Duraplus goes, water always flows. This afternoon, the Ghana Revenue Authority GRA fights back, standing firmly behind Strategic Mobilization Limited SML, insisting that the company saved the state more than 3 billion Ghana cedis over the period. Details plus an update on a possible OSP investigation into the allegations. Also this afternoon, Supreme Court Justice nominee Henry Anthony Kofi warns journalists and media commentators to be mindful of insulting and inciting languages against judges, as he argues against a law on contempt of court.
But sometimes people should be.
We have details of that. We have just also details of the nominees, as they say, the perception of political judgments from the Supreme Court are not real.
What creates the controversy for the judiciary are the very few political or politically connected cases that are held, which are some statistics I think was done.
Also this afternoon, will your power continue to be stable in the midst of concerns by Gridco and Ghana Gas about ECG's worsening cash flow situation, especially at the time we're going into the festive season? Details of that. Also, there are urgent calls to government to support the district level elections after the process in parts of the country was marred by logistical challenges and violence.
Look at it, look come attitude from Parliament, from EC, from everybody. So the disinterest in district level elections.
I think we should be able to call the EC out and tell the EC that it is their duty and mandate to prepare sufficiently, adequately, and well.
And we'll also tell you the interesting tale of how a deceased candidate in Takwan Swayem wins the election with sympathy votes from loved ones, including his wife.
I voted for my husband. I know he's no more, but I voted for him because I have no, even if he's not there, I have no one to vote for. I wanted to know the rejected ballot that came out. Then I will know the number of people who voted for my husband.
You definitely want to stay for details of that and much later.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
An unforgettable Christmas treat awaits everyone. The assurance from Programs Manager of Joy FM to the thousands of families heading to the Abri Botanical Gardens for the Joy FM Family Party in the Park, coming up in some 6 days.
Our Daddy's Corner is coming back with a bang. The artists are ready. Ifia, we have Kwabna, we have Kwampa, and loads of other surprise acts. They are all ready. You know, the children love their musical chairs, they love their sack race, and all of those, we have them ready.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
That's and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa, Apawu, and this is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please do stay on for details. Many thanks for choosing us. We're digging now, and this afternoon, the Ghana Revenue Authority is fighting back allegations that the contract signed with Strategic Mobilization Limited SML for the monitoring of the petroleum downstream sector yielded no benefit to the state. The GRA says, contrary to the claims in the Fourth Estate investigative piece, the company has saved the country more than 3 billion cedis over the period. My colleague Samuel Imbura has been monitoring this for us. He has a copy of the statement from the Ghana Revenue Authority, which was issued a while ago. Joins me in the studio with it. Samuel, first, let's talk about the background to all this as the GRA outlines.
Well, Emefa, the GRA affirms that together with the Ministry of Finance, it has signed a consolidated contract with SML to monitor and audit one downstream petroleum sector, and that began in 2019, upstream petroleum production 2023, minerals and metals resources value chain for 2023. According to the GRA, the new and consolidated contract, which is for a term of 5 years and not 10 years, as alleged by the publication, was agreed upon based on the performance of SML in the monitoring of the downstream petroleum sector and the provision of instant reconciliation of real-time data in the sector.
So now it goes on to talk about the performance of the downstream petroleum assurance contract. Let's go through it.
Exactly, Emefa. Prior to the engagement, according to GRA, GRA operated a manual system for the measurement of fuel in depots. The use of dipsticks for measurement was archaic and posed a risk to officers who climbed a ladder to measure the fuel in the tankers. It was inefficient and prone to revenue leakages, according to GRA. Currently, GRA claims that oil deposited by the bulk oil distribution companies in the depots is measured by SML with the aid of sensors installed on the depot's red flow meters during offloading from the depots. According to GRA, SML again measures all the various liftings of the oil marketing companies. It goes further to say that all these pieces of information are captured and reconciled with data from the ICOMs. This is done with the GRA petroleum unit. If there are discrepancies, customs inform the OMC to enter a post-entry to correct the differences. Okay. Again, SML in the petroleum sector provides additional data independent of the customs ICOMs, data capable of validating anomalies in quantities imported, discharged, and accounted for by way of taxes. It goes further to say that the revenue assurance exercise undertaken by EY Ghana and later by the Revenue Assurance and Compliance Enforcement of the Ministry of Finance confirmed systematic deficiencies in the accounting and collection of petroleum taxes between 2015 and 2020. The mode of transmission of data, according to GRA, from various sources and systems was fraught with inconsistencies, resulting in loss of revenue. Extensive reconciliation had been done on the various platforms and institutions within the petroleum downstream value chain to collect revenue that would have otherwise been lost. And the last point on that issue is that the work of SML over the period has led to a significant increase in the figures reported in the downstream petroleum sector from the average of 350 million litres per month in 2018 and 2019 to 450 million litres per month from 2020 to 2021. This, according to GRA, represents over a 33% increase in volumes reporting and an average of an extra 100 million litres per month at a levy rate of 1.44 pesos. The extra revenue variance gained for the 2 years will exceed 3 billion. So this is where they are corroborating the claims made by SML, and they go further to say that this performance is attributable mainly to the introduction of ICOMs and SML systems.
Well, they go on to respond to the allegations by Fourth Estate, but first the consolidated contract. They say that based on the performance of Strategic Mobilization Ghana SML Limited, the Ministry of Finance directed that the existing contract of SML be expanded to cover the petroleum upstream and the mining sector to minimize the risk of revenue leakages. Well, the consolidated contract seeks to leverage the experience, technology and know-how of SML Ghana Limited in the downstream petroleum sector and the minerals and metals sector to provide revenue assurances in the upstream. Let's go through the allegations and the responses to Fourth Estate. The first one is Samuel. He says GRA restate that the consolidated contract, which is a risk-reward contract, seeks to bring efficiency in revenue assurance services provided to GRA. SML per the contract is required to provide resources for the execution of the contract. By implication, if there is no value addition, SML is not paid. In short, the principle of risk and reward is the fulcrum of the contract. Let's go through the second response.
The second one says that the contract is for 5 years and a performance based and approved under Section 40 of the Public Procurement Act 663/2003. The board and management affirm that all legal and proper processes were followed in procuring the services of SML. The third point is what talks about SML solely financed the capital expenditures and cutting edge technology that is employed in the monitoring and auditing services provided to GRA in the downstream petroleum sector.
And it concludes by saying that the GRA is confident that with the introduction of various initiatives, technology and revenue assurance measures such as this, GRA will continue to see a significant increase in revenue, such as the about 50% year-on-year increase in revenue this year. However, GRA will continue to explore more methods of blocking leakages and increasing compliance to enable us to attain a national national tax to GDP ratio of about 18%. So that's from the Communication and Public Affairs Department of the Ghana Revenue Authority. That's the latest. We've been hearing from SML yesterday as well. You were in the offices. You interacted with the head of IT. Let's go through what he said again.
Well, Prince Sapon indicated that per the data available to them, their system has actually contributed to the revenue accrued annually to the 3 billion Ghana cedis recorded by GRA.
So in estimate, what actually happened with the 3 billion is, as I talked about, the money is all about the volumes. So if there's an increase in volume, there's an increase in revenue. And since SML started operation, we can confidently say that there has been an average monthly increase of 100 million liters. So if you multiply it by 24 months, with the tax component that we are not even using the 1.74, we are using the old tax component, which is 1.44, that will arrive at the 3 billion that we talked about.
That's Prince Sapong, head of IT for SML. Now, meanwhile, the Fourth Estate says Office of the Special Prosecutor is yet to extend an invitation to the Managing Director of Embattle Strategic Mobilization Limited, which has been fingered in this whole investigation. The documentary titled The 3 Billion CD Lie alleges a $100 million annual contract awarded to SML by the Finance Ministry for monitoring the petroleum industry, which is a duplication of operations by the NPA. Well, SML denies the accuracy of this information. We've been hearing from the GRA also saying that the contract is not for 10 years but for 5 years, and that the money is accrued to them, or the savings they've made is over 3 billion. The Fourth Estate has since petitioned the OSP for further investigations and prosecution of the culprits involved in the deal. Before we hear from lead investigative journalist at the Fourth Estate, though, listen to head of engineering in charge of petroleum at SML, Hamdan Abubakar, also defending their operations.
The allegation that SML's flow meters are not accurate is false. If you look at the technical data sheets of these ultrasonic flow meters we use, they show the accuracy level of these ultrasonic flow meters. Our ultrasonic flow meters are being calibrated by Ghana Standard Authority semi-annually. That's twice every year. And upon attainment of the calibration certificate, it is always established that our flow meters is always within an acceptable range.
We can now listen to lead investigative journalist at the Fourth Estate, Manasseh Azuria, when he's saying the OSP is yet to extend an invitation to the Managing Director of SML, Christian Tetesoti, following their petition.
We got information that some of the reporters asked why Christian Tetesoti was not available, and they said that he had been invited by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The information I have is that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not extended an invitation to anybody, and I have confirmed this with sources to that office, and so we haven't heard what has been done, but I can say that no invitation has been sent. And just briefly, the Hamdan, the head of engineering, also spoke about the meters. In fact, if you watch that documentary, I put a specific question to him that there are meters and existing meters, which of them takes more, which of these two takes more accurate readings? Okay. And what existed before SML came takes more accurate reading, and he answered that, and that is a fact that they cannot deny.
That's lead investigative journalist at the Fourth Estate, Manasseh Azuri Iwene there. Let me take you to Parliament, where one of the three latest nominees of President Akufo-Addo to the Supreme Court, Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, is advocating against enacting a law to regulate judges' use of the power of contempt. The power of contempt allows judges to summarily punish persons who disobey orders of the court or disrupt legal proceedings in a court. The power has been used in Ghana to punish journalists and other commentators who use language some judges do not like, and has been criticized by some lawyers and media professionals. When asked by Medina MP Francis Xavier Susua, the Appointments Committee, whether there should be a law to regulate this power, Justice Anthony Kofi, currently a Court of Appeal judge, explained that commentators and media professionals must rather be circumspect in their language.
I would say that from the question, the judges of all levels deal with all manner of cases, land, crime, estate, what have you, every aspect of the law. But as you see, what creates the controversy for the judiciary are the very few political or politically connected cases that are heard, which are some statistics I think was done recently, and it's less than 5% of the cases, overall cases that the judiciary handles. And it is the 5% which are because of course we understand our politics, the emotions of people perceive that no, this is a judgment that should be going here, that should be going here. Judgment is given based on the evidence and the law. Somebody may be dissatisfied, naturally. But it doesn't mean that the judgment given is tainted by politics or influenced by politics. That's not the way I see the judgments. I hear there's a lot of cry that it's political, it is this, but I will not look at it that way. And there are very few cases which are in natural fact political, if I may put it that way. Less than 5%. And those 5% seems to cover and override the good work that the judges do in respect of the 95% or so that is not political. The estate matters, the criminal matters, the land matters, and what have you.
That's Justice Anthony Kofi there, also dismissing the claims about the perception of political judgment and the unanimous FC concerns that have been raised. He's arguing that judges only follow the law. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante sat through that vetting and joins us on the line with details. Let's talk about the other questions that have been posed to the judge and how he's been responding. Kweku.
So Justice Anthony Kofi has been commenting on the menace of Galamsey. He agreed generally that the courts must actually give out very stiffer punishment to persons who engage in illegal mining, although he concedes that a lot of Galamsey matters do not end up at the Supreme Court because trials are conducted at the High Court. He has also been responding to perception that President Akufo-Addo is backing the courts. He says appointing 15 judges at max for the Supreme Court is actually commensurate with the number of cases they have to deal with, and that a comparison with the Supreme Court of the United States, for instance, will not hold water. Emefa.
Let's talk about the other nominees expected to appear.
So very soon we expect Justice Yaudako Asare to take his seat and be questioned by the appointment committee, I should say. He's also currently a Court of Appeal judge. All three judges that the president has nominated to go to the Supreme Court are all from the Court of Appeal. So Justice Yaudako Asare will be the next to take his seat. The Chief Justice herself is here. We understand she will sit through the proceedings and actually pay attention to all of the judges as they are vetted, as has been announced by the committee.
That's a Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante there, bringing us up to speed on the vetting of the Supreme Court nominees there in Parliament. Now, in the wake of widespread logistical challenges and outbreaks of violence during the district level elections, urgent appeals are mounting for government to intervene. Concerned stakeholders are emphasizing the crucial need for government support to ensure the integrity of the District Assembly and Unit Committee elections. Escalating the concern is the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, which is pressing for a national conversation into the challenges affecting the election. We can hear Paul Abrampa Mensa, project leader at CODEO. He's been speaking on PM Express.
You remember when the EC laid an ally in Parliament, then we were discussing, going back and forth, change something, we are going to use national ID cards. I told you in that interview that if we were to be a general election year, Parliament will have taken a bold step to call the EC together in order for EC to do the right thing. But because we're dealing with district level elections, look at the lukewarm attitude from Parliament, from EC, from everybody. So that this interest in district level elections, the apathetic nature we attach to district level elections is glaring. We all know that. If we say we are going to analyze district level elections and stakeholders' interest, it needs a national conversation that we all have to sit down to analyze what it is that we need from local governance.
Well, on the same show, the former Minister for Local Government, Nilanti van der Poel, also expressed disappointment in the EC's preparations.
You see, we must call a spade a spade. The EC has 2 years to prepare for these district level elections, because the district level elections happens in between the major national elections. After 2020 elections, the EC knew that they will have district level elections this year. I think we should be able to call the EC out and tell the EC that it is their duty and mandate to prepare sufficiently, adequately and well for every election in this country. And as such, immediately after these district level elections, all the things that we have seen now, they should start preparing towards those things so that in 2024, in the major elections, we will not have these hiccups that we've witnessed in the district level elections.
Now, come with me to the Takwa in Swayim area. That's the Tebrebe electoral area where an interesting tale unfolded yesterday. Guess what? A deceased candidate, Manasseh Saki, popularly known as Obo, won the elections. Obo was a head teacher of Apompiansuano MA school and the incumbent assembly member seeking re-election. Unfortunately, he drowned on a campaign tour to one of the villages in his electoral area on Tuesday, December 5. The sad incident led electors to vote for him, including his wife, Vida Addison Saki. She spoke to Joy News' Mami Sinyameche Thompson.
Yesterday was the election day. Although people know he has passed on, but they voted for him. That marvels me a lot.
What does that mean for you?
It means they love him and they cherish whatever he came to do. He did a lot in his lecture area, putting people to apprenticeship, a lot. They appreciated whatever he came to do, and they were well convinced that whether he is not there or he's alive, they will vote for him. We are waiting for the EC, whatever the EC will say. I was overwhelmed.
Now, the electoral officer for the area, Eko Essien, says there will be a re-election.
The law indicates that if a candidate dies, leaving only one candidate in the election, the Electoral Commission has to reopen nominations for another 10 days and reschedule the voting within 21 days. However, if a candidate dies and there are still more than 2 candidates, the election can proceed as there is still a contest. Therefore, despite the unfortunate event in Tebrebe electoral area, the elections should proceed.
It's time for a quick breather here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. We've been hearing from the Ghana Revenue Authority as it fight back, standing firmly behind the Strategic Mobilization Limited, insisting that the company saved the state more than 3 billion cedis and that the contract is for 5 years and not 10. We return from the break with sports, and will your power continue to be stable in the midst of concerns by Gridco and Ghana Gas about ECG's worsening cash flow situation, especially at the time we're going into the festive season. And speak of the festive season,
Feliz Navidad.
An unforgettable Christmas treat awaits everyone. The assurance from Programs Manager of Joy FM to the thousands of families heading to the Abri Botanical Gardens for the Joy FM family party in the park.
Our Daddy's Corner is coming back with a bang. The artists are ready. Efia, we have Kwabna, we have Kwampa, and loads of other surprise acts. They are all ready. You know, the children love their musical chairs. They love their sacred.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Get ready for another exciting and memorable time with the family as we bring you another fun-packed edition of the Joy FM Family Party in the Park, set in the Abri Botanical Gardens. Families will be treated to lots of bonding and fun games such as cooking competitions, treasure hunts, sack racing, and dancing competitions, among others.
And guess what? Kwabna, Efia, Kwanpa, and other surprise acts will be mounting the stage to electrify the party. And oh, the Daddy's High Life and Beer Corner returns with a bang. Mark the details. 26th December 2023 at the Ebri Botanical Gardens, 10 a.m. sharp.
Tickets are going for a cool 200 Ghana cedis for a family of 6. You can buy tickets here at the front desk of Joy FM. Make ticket reservations on 0559 691797 or use the short code by dialing *714*003*3#. Select party in the park, opt for family park, confirm number of tickets and make payments. It's that simple.
The Joy FM Family Party in the Park is brought to you by Fritol Sunflower Oil. Enjoy the goodness in tasty meals. Fortune Rice, always on point, just like mommy. Enterprise Life, buy family income security plan from Enterprise Life. Enterprise, your advantage. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Syntex Tank, you're strong, you're tough. Safari Tissue, wipe clean, last long. Niche, taste of Ghana. Kiki Drinks, juice up your life. Lesh Fortune Limited, luxuriously perfect. A Joy FM Family Party in the Park, creating memorable family moments.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports, and the Majority Chief Whip in Parliament, Frank Anodompre, has recommended the sacking of Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton if that's what is required for Ghana to win the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. While the former Brighton boss has been under intense pressure since taking charge of his first gaming match, with results not forthcoming and the football not pleasant to watch. Well, he's been speaking on the floor of Parliament. The Nswaim Adweji MP called on the sports minister to do everything possible to ensure the Black Stars don't disgrace the country in La Cote d'Ivoire next month. Now, to add some other stories here on the Midday News, a new bill currently under parliamentary consideration, the Ghana Boundary Commission Bill, seeks to enhance the authority of the state agency. Once passed, it will help the commission, in addition to its duties of resolving external boundary disputes, to also play a pivotal role in resolving internal boundary and electoral boundary disagreements. That's according to the National Coordinator, Major General Emmanuel Kotia. Speaking at an annual retreat of the commission in the Eastern region, he expressed optimism that this expansion of responsibilities will mark a major success story for the commission.
Development as far as the bill is concerned. The new area that we will be seeing ourselves performing is to help amicably resolve internal boundary disputes, including electoral boundaries, where they are deferred to us or where we have problems so far as internal boundaries are concerned. We are not going to be responsible for demarcating internal boundaries, but just to assist in amicably resolving this dispute through negotiations.
And that's General Emmanuel Kotia there. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba joins us from that retreat. Maxwell, a lot has been happening. What more can you report?
Well, the Ghana Boundary Commission has been doing an assessment of the year 2023 and making projections for the year 2024. The National Coordinator, Major General Coach Emmanuel Kotia, has described the year as a tremendous and successful one for the Commission. Key amongst what has happened this year in 2023, he says, is the construction of the first access road to dollar power in the Savannah region, which we are told is nearing completion, which was facilitated by the Ghana Boundary Commission. Also, major highlights is the work towards the implementation, the full implementation of the 2017 8+ rule in Emefa.
That's my colleague Maxwell Agbagba there. Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana has come under scrutiny on its current financial situation, which portends looming power crisis in the country. Already, some areas in both Greater Accra and Ashanti regions have started experiencing intermittent power cuts, especially at peak periods, raising concerns on the certainty of power supply going into the festive season. Joy News editor Fred Smith joins me in studio on what more we are learning. Fred, tell us more.
Well, in the last few days, we've received statements from the senior staff associations of the Ghana Gas Company Limited and Greco Company, and both are raising concerns about their cash flow situation, especially to do with the debts owed by ECG to them. And they're saying that these things could plunge us into darkness very soon, because the two institutions are struggling to operate. But the sources within ECG, I beg your pardon, are saying that the power outages that we're experiencing in parts of the country are isolated cases, and the public should not be alarmed by that.
And you're ready for the Joy FM family party in the bag, aren't you?
Yes, I am. My family always look forward to this. They plan like 3 months ahead, and so we always are excited about it.
And listen to programs manager Edem Naite telling us more.
Already, and I am very excited that yes, come the 26th of December, we will be at the Ibri Botanical Gardens hosting over 4,000 families to the Joy FM family party in the park. Everything you can think about, from music to stage to fun activities. Our Daddy's Corner is coming back with a bang. The artists are ready. Efia, we have Kwabna, we have Kwampa, and loads of other surprise acts. They are all ready. You know, the children love their musical chairs, they love their sack race, and all of those, we have them ready. This year, we are also saying that when the families come in early in the morning, between 9 and 10 a.m., we're going to take them around the Ibri Botanical Gardens for a tour. So yes, everything that needs to be done, we have checked all the boxes, and we are just waiting for the 26th to have that big party.
Feliz Navidad.
And all you need is 200 Ghana cedis for a family of 6. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for a fun-packed family time. This Christmas at the Ibri Botanical Garden. You can't miss it. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil is up next.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues